Hi, and welcome to Mr. Garofola's podcast. In this episode, we are looking at solving inequalities. I'd like to start this podcast by reviewing some important notes from class. Today, we made some moves to inequalities and transformed them into different looking inequalities by using properties. And we found out that there are a couple of moves that will make the solution set to an inequality false. They are multiplying both sides by a negative value or dividing both sides by a negative value. We need to keep this in mind as we work through these problems on our homework because this may cause an adjustment to our solution set. So I'm going to look today at example 7. Since this is one that we did not get to during our class lesson, I thought it might be a good one to look at. This problem has negative x over 2 plus 8 is less than or equal to 12 minus x. So there's a couple of possibilities that you could use, or approaches you could use when you're solving an inequality like this. One suggestion might be to multiply both sides by negative 2. The benefit to doing this is that when you multiply negative 2 times negative x over 2, you're just going to get 1x, or plain old x. And then when you multiply negative 2 times 8, you'll get negative 16. So you can see we have a much easier expression to work with. However, you'll need to remember that since we're multiplying by a negative, and we're doing it to both sides, this solution set to this inequality will only come out true if we switch the direction of the symbol. So this less than or equal to will have to become greater than or equal to if we want to keep the solution set true. And we can go ahead and multiply negative 2 times 12, get negative 24, and negative 2 times negative x would give positive 2x. So we've done some good things here. We've created variable terms that are positive 1x, positive 2x, which is going to be helpful to us. But we just had to remember to take into account that we're multiplying by a negative on both sides and the effect that that has on the solution set. Now, as you continue to work, you're going to want to try and make moves that will keep that variable term positive. And as I look here, if I take away x from both sides, that will accomplish that goal, as 2x minus x will leave 1x. So we'll have negative 16 is greater than or equal to negative 24 plus x. And now just one more move left. That would be to add 24 to both sides. And we would get positive 8 is greater than or equal to x. And we could rewrite that as x as less than or equal to 8. So either of these would be an appropriate solution. Now you'd want to take this solution set and place it on the number line graphically so we could see all the real numbers that are less than or equal to 8. Since this number line actually doesn't have 8, we can extend it just a bit, and we could go ahead and add on 6, 7, and 8. And we would be using a closed circle on 8 since it includes 8, the or equal to here, and then shade to the left. And all these numbers in this direction. So this is a closed circle on 8 and shading going to the left. So you can use this strategy throughout your homework. A couple of problems that might come up on is like example number 3, where you have a negative x over 6. You might want to take that strategy there. You're going to get some negatives here back in number 1 and number 4. There's really multiple ways to solve these, and the strategy that you use ultimately is the one that you're most comfortable with. But just to recap, remember those moves. If multiply or divide by a negative, you're going to change the solution set, so you'll need to make sure you make the adjustment. Hopefully this was helpful, and I'll see you in class.